takes place Mondays to Fridays, Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, a.m. to 9 a.m. And we are here, and we're excited you're here with us. Please do let us know where you're streaming from. Tell us your name, tell us your location, tell us where you're connecting from. We'd love to hear from you. And from time to time, we have conversations and drive the conversations with us together. Let us hear from you. What are your thoughts? Our desire is that we want to learn together, we want to share together, and the goal is ultimately that we grow together. And we have fantastic people joining us from across the world, from Italy, from UK, from Ireland, from UAE, from Dubai, from America, from South Africa. If you're that kind of person, please do let us know. We're streaming from Lagos, Nigeria, to West Africa, to Africa, and the entire world. And it's such a great delight. We are always joined by experts, strong voices within and around the education space who will tackle the issues and in such a way that you don't want to miss. It's always knowledge filled, knowledge packed, and will not be an exception. We're going to be talking about something that affects you and I today, something that you would love to know about, something that also speaks about the demand of the hour. You know, it's something I believe that you should sit on the edge of a seat and just watch and don't change your what you're browsing from. Don't that should be on the show, that should be watching this, please send the link to them, share this message with them, tell them about the Good Morning Education Show. It's definitely going to be a great time with you today. We're going to be speaking on something fantastic, and if you check the screen, you'll find out that you see the topic of the day there, speaking about spread your wings and get more skills, spread your wings and get more skills. And I believe that you and I are going to be a lot refreshed at the end of the day. If you're joining us for the first time, please do let us know so we can ring what we call the bell of to you. The bell of blessing is something that I'm sure you get familiar with. We do this from time to time to do for the first time. If you're joining us for the first time, please do not hesitate to let us know. You deserve a bell of blessing, and I'm sure you're going to get it. All right. So that being told, normally what we do is we spend some time on the show to review what we would call the news headlines. And when we look at news headlines, we take it from different angles, we take it from different perspectives, and then we begin to share and also learn together on it. So I believe that it's going to be a great opportunity for you to learn more as to what's happening within the education space, around the education space, beyond the education space. So let's just hopefully think and wish some of our colleagues would have been here so that they can easily connect with us. So don't go away. I'll just have how do you call it now? Just gonna have a commercial break and we will be right back. Don't go away. Welcome back. This is the Good Morning Education Show. Like I said earlier, we're going to be speaking on spread your wings, get more skills. And just before we do that, I'm going to take the news. We're going to have the headline news. We will come back and then we'll talk more about the conversations of the day. Let's go for it. Welcome back. Welcome back. I hope you saw the headline news. I hope you were able to see the headline news. Just speaking about so many things happening in the world of education and, of course, around the world of education. And it's such an interesting time that I believe that we are living in, because we're seeing a move, about some recurring activities that is a cause of concern. One of the things that has been in the news for the past few weeks and months has been the ASU strike. So many different issues springing up and springing around it. You know, um, we need to really begin to ask ourselves, where are we headed? Because as a nation, there are certain things that we can't afford to toy with. Certain things we can't afford to just let life follow. So we need to begin to look at all these angles. And then there's some interesting things, right? About the pandemic. The COVID-19 still seems to be within the radar, and people have been enjoined, to take caution. You know, people have been enjoined to take caution. So these are many more things that are happening. But let me start with the one that really catches my fancy, is the one that speaks about Akwa Ibom State, already rolling out the teacher employment. I think 1,000 teachers have been employed, and there's been jubilation as Akwa Ibom State government commences immediate employment, of 1,000 teachers. And seems like this is something that is also like a wave across the country, because many states are getting to connect or key into this reality where they are going into employment. Kano State, Gombe State, Lagos State, and I think, can't remember one more state. They've been featured in the news for some of these recruitment efforts. So we'll say, well done. And then, of course, there's been the issue of having the feedback from the Minister of Education, talking about Nigerian students or Nigerian children, saying that 66% of Nigerian rural children cannot read, or probably cannot even read or write. And that's a literacy challenge. They said they can't read, they can't write. It's a literacy challenge. Then, of course, we all know that COVID-19 has serious implications on the education sector, because we all know that from the news and as it rises, for months, a lot of schools were, under lock and key. It was almost like not being able to do much, right? But then we need to be able to possible best to ensure that we don't get to stay in this scenario where we're being back to square one as well. Good morning, Keke. How are you today? Keke, are you there? Keke, good morning.
Good morning. I'm excellent. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. It's good to be here.
Yeah. So I was just reviewing the news. Maybe I should show the news one more time so that you can get the benefit of that. Do you like that? KK.
Oh.
Let's get to look at the news one more time since you just joined.
Okay. Yeah, sure, that'll be great. Yes, I think there seems to be a delay. I'm hearing you.
All right, KK. So I'm sure you've seen that now. Any headline that caught your attention? KK, are you there? KK, are you there?
The one about SUBEB? Yes, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so go ahead, carry on.
I'm here, Rotimi.
Yeah, carry on, please.
Yeah, so I like the one about SUBEB.
Okay.
What are the gaps? Great. Where are they? Is it that they are no longer in school? You know, so that for me is important, that we need to actually track absentee students. That's important, both in the primary and the junior secondary, because that's where SUBEB kind of comes across. Then the military. I didn't understand this one. Why are they teaching them to run like animals? this one, I didn't get it. Seriously. Why should they run like animals? You know, I don't get it. But well, if that's what they want to do, then that's fine. Well, I guess. You know, then ASU and then engaging the military for the students during exams. I don't understand why they need to engage military for exams. So yeah, I would lament as well with ASU. I went to a Nigerian university and we didn't have to have the military in our classrooms.
Well, I think that most of the time we tend to just blow up issues trying to make it look like, well, if we can't get someone to blame, then we just need to come up with something. Because the crisis of saying you have military to invigilate exams simply has also brought the army in the public glare to the lowest ebb of domestic issues. Army, the soldiers, they have their primary responsibility
to
I agree. The sovereignty of the Nigerian state. So I think that
and they have a lot of work.
I think that's not it's not the best narrative to come out from ASU.
No.
It's not the best narrative, because there are many situations. And do you know that beyond the exam practice, that's within the one where you will sit down in a lecture hall to write or sit for exams. There are
Hello, that's me.
Can you hear me?
You went out. You went off for a few seconds there.
Oh, sorry, maybe that was the internet. But what I'm saying is, there are many times that the factor is not necessary. That means we're not even preparing for the future. If you're bringing military into the class,
management, everything.
When those other clients are thinking of, or not even thinking of, we already have other people where you do your exams right in the comfort of your hostel or home.
Exactly. And then we're in the classrooms and inviting the army, which is totally uncalled for, inviting them into our classrooms. What exactly they meant to do in our classrooms?
Well, it's sad, but that's what it is.
No, yeah, actually. Yeah. It is sad.
Any other headline?
Okay, so the topic of the day. Are we moving to the topic of the day?
Oh, okay. Topic of the day, like
so those were the two that caught my eye. Those were the two that I could actually see. The one about it was just those two. And these are the ones that you are, then I can see the ones that are scrolling on the screen.
Guess who is around on the show
Hey,
today?
Favor is in the house. Spread your wings and fly. I like it. Hi, Favor. It's been a long time. It's good to have you on the show.
He needs a bell of blessing, actually.
Please ring it. I need to buy my bell. Why should Rotimi have all the fun with the bell?
It's a jingle bell season, so you jingle the bell. Jingle bell.
Yes.
Okay, so without wasting much time, we want to appreciate those who are just joining us and those who are connecting with us. This is the Good Morning Education Show, and we are here and we are live, we're direct. We are so excited you're joining us. Please do let us know where you're connecting from. Thank you, Favor Early Dogo, for joining, our faithful, constant tribe member. Today, we'll be speaking on spread your wings, get more skills. There was a particular episode of the Good Morning Education Show that we had, and Rhoda actually was the one who mentioned, Rhoda Odigbo, she mentioned something about skills, skills being the new, there's a way she coined that word, and we need to realize that, yes, skills is the new literacy, right? We need to realize that the literacy in the 21st century to 22nd century is not just ability to speak, read, or write, but really literacy is now getting advanced. Literacy is your ability, or is more of skills now. And so to every educator, to every education professional, to school leaders, to business leaders, and people who are watching today, we would like to spend some time to talk about the need for us to spread our wings. And because without the wings, you have no flight. Once you are able to spread your wings, it means you're also able to explore and stretch out. But as you do that, also get more skills. I think we've been in a sector that has been restricted for so long. We've been professionals. We have gagged ourselves for so long. We've been experts, but we have all seemed to be in one particular sphere, cornered, boxed in by something I don't know what. But it's time for us to spread our wings and get more skills. So, KK, we're going to start with it, right? What should our attitude be towards spreading out, especially knowing that there are statements that have gone ahead of us, like jack of all trade, master of none. You have to focus on your focus. You have to do things. You have to do this. You have to do that. How do we distinguish this? Or how do we differentiate the urge not to say, you're spreading yourself thin. It's only you. How many things will you do? And the fact that there's a need for us to explore. The world is changing, and there's so much dynamism taking place in the world. You will be shocked, to see so many forms of, exploration by businesses and conglomerates that we once knew to be just in one type of market. There's a lot of market cross-carpeting going on globally. Capitalism is changing, and the capitalist society is also changing. And I think it's time for us to begin to think about spreading our wings. KK, over to you.
Yeah, so I mean, it's interesting that you actually started with that quote, jack of all trades. And why is it interesting? It's interesting because I saw the full quote brought to me. And when I saw the full quote, I was like, really? Is this the full quote? The full quote by actually said, a jack of all trades, the master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one.
Are you serious?
So when I am telling you, to me, that's what it says. A jack of all trades is a master of one, but oftentimes is better than a master. Is better than a master of one. So it's actually telling you that it's okay to be a jack of all trades. That's what it's saying. because you're a master of all, not just a master of one. And then I quote, I was like, wow. But apparently, as it is, people just take the part of the quote that matters, or they need to pull up that point that they're pushing forward. And that's how they just
We've
we
been
together.
scammed.
That's zero.
Okay, we've been scammed.
Serious.
We've been scammed. Come on.
Yeah. So I mean, and this is so
I
interesting.
need to go and get my money back. All these conferences that you pay for. Oh my goodness. Lovely. Jack of all trade is a master of all, but oftentimes is better than a master of one.
One. Yeah. So I was talking. I really like this topic today. To be honest with you, to talk about it. A lot of times, word expert usually becomes a problem for us. I'm actually taking out that word expert from a lot of my bio, because when you talk about expertise, a lot of times expertise kind of boxes you into one particular skill set. But when you look at, and there's a day, Jude, I believe, there was one session we had where we talked about the fact that a lot of times we're talking about teaching. We only see one part of it, the classroom. We forget the fact that the teaching profession, which cuts across so many other skill sets, so many others, so much more when you think about the profession of teaching. And that's where it is. We just think about the fact that I'm a teacher and we end there. But being a teacher, many other things that you can't do. Being an educational professional, what are the many other things that you can't do? I would say to people, when you are a teacher, you can do almost everything. You can teach, you can do public speaking, you can edit documents, you can do coaching, you can mentor, you can so much you can do. But unfortunately, we're stuck in that zone of what do I need to be able to teach? We forget that this is an interconnected world right now, and it's so great to see that.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I think KK's network is a bit okay, she's back.
Everything, but you must know
Okay.
something about everything. It's really important that we get into that space where we actually begin to ask ourselves, what do I need to function? I want to try a lot of say things like I can't do it. The reason why, oh, my network is weak. The reason why people say they can't do it is because they looked at the skills that they need to do something and they see that they are falling short. Because they're falling short in a particular area, in their heads, they don't realize I can go out there and find the skills, learn the skills that I need to push forward. So we really do need to break that jinx, break that mindset that says, once I'm good at one thing, I'm great. No, sir, no, ma. The world we live in today, even when you're having conversations, you need to have a conversation across a broad range of topics. And so, yes, we need to spread our wings and skill up. Over to you, Tim.
Breaking every chain sound like the song break every chain, break every chain.
Good morning. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Good Morning Education Show. It's a wonderful morning here in Lagos, Nigeria. I'm excited to be here. I'm late. I don't want to say why, but it's a good morning. Hello to everyone joining us. I see we have a number of new people joining us today. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you. Yes, Olatunde Adebayo, thank you for being here with us. Adura, thank you for being here with us. There's one person Osai.
People is saying hello to you.
Oh, good morning. Hello, everyone. I like
I'm sure Favor has been on leave or something.
Favor, we miss you because you're such a wonderful member of this our tribe. We miss your wonderful comments. Good morning, Bolaji Oyekon. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. I love today's topic. Honestly, I love today's topic. I know. My cousin KK would have done good justice to the beginning part of it. But I would like to start and say, is there anyone that this year didn't learn something new? Is there someone that this year you didn't learn something? If you didn't, then I think you did yourself a great disservice. If there's anything I feel 2020 was about, it was about learning new things, taking new steps, um, trying new things, gaining knowledge. If all you gained in 2020, I think the number one thing should have been new knowledge. I'd said it a lot of times on the show. We had a lot of opportunities to attend lots of webinars this year, this 2020. Lots of webinars that normally you wouldn't have been able to attend, either because of location, and then the kind of people that also spoke at webinars were also different because there was no location barriers. It meant that some people didn't have to worry that, okay, I had to come from Abuja to Lagos, or some people had to come from overseas to come and be part of it. So it meant that you had an opportunity to learn. So if you didn't learn, it's really, you did yourself a disservice. I think the other thing is that because of the fact of COVID and lockdown, we also had to learn new skills. A lot of people had to learn to use technology. Teachers had to learn how to use WhatsApp for training, for teaching their students. So that was gaining new skills. When you teach physical classroom and you teach on Zoom, it's completely different. You know, it was stretching yourself. I think was learning. And if anything, 2020 has taught us is that if you don't have uh, new skills, you don't have an edge. So I'm sure that for a lot of people that are back in the classroom, you find that the teachers that knew more technology, that have gained more from a technology perspective, they now have an edge over the others that don't. So I think if 2020 taught you anything, is the fact that you have to add more, you have to be more, you know, and you have to have a technology edge.
That's powerful. It's quite powerful. Titi, KK opened our eyes to something that pretty much some of us did not really get it clear, or I guess it was distorted. And it's the saying of Jack of all trades, master of none.
Mm-hmm.
And she said she stumbled on the real quote, and pretty much it was as if they've put one veil on our eyes over the years. Jack of all trades is a master of none. It didn't end there, but oftentimes better than a master of one.
Yeah,
You didn't know about this quote?
I didn't know that was in short. I didn't know that the quote was here. It had two parts. But I kind of agree because in this era, if you are a master of one, as in mastering how to be a very good teacher inside the classroom without any use of technology, and then someone was half and half and half, someone that knows how to use technology, is not a fantastic teacher, but knows how to use a bit of technology here and there. In this era, the person would have fared better than you because you
Yeah.
certainly be completely, especially when your school has
Relevant.
moved online, you
Yeah.
suddenly be irrelevant. So you're a good teacher, but use the technology now, you can't. Go on Zoom now, you can't. Can you do what
You
you
know.
can't? So I kind of agree that you can't, where the world is now in terms of technology, you can't be master of only one thing. You need to be good in so many other things. Yes, be a master, but be good in so many other things. honestly, I'm one for learning. I think it's so important. In short, I'm going to take this quote and go and send it to all my staff now. Because some people are just comfortable in, oh, but I'm very good in writing a blog. That's fine. But can you also learn how to do some graphics? I'm not saying be an expert, but can you just add in, using Canva so that you can give more expression to the ideas you have?
You have,
Can you just
absolutely.
add being able to be at least navigate around WordPress so that you don't need, when you want to make a little adjustment, you don't need to get someone else in. So I completely agree that where we are now, because we don't know how the direction of the world, is not enough to be very good in one skill. Be very good in one and have a number of 2, 3 other 4 things that you can do. And it's a pity that Eben is not here, but I'll take him as an example. Eben is first of all an artist. Eben is first of all an artist. And that is really what he's good in. But see how he's taking on that mastery of art into mastering other things that are still art related. So Eben is an artist, he can draw very well. But Eben makes art posters. Eben does school decorations. Eben is now giving a technical expression to his art, whereby he's teaching you how to use Canva. He's teaching you how to use YouTube. He's teaching, do you understand? He's using that, it still is an underlying expression of art. But he's giving you so many expressions and so many. So, and you know what? It's giving him multiple streams of income. So he can come and do posters for you. And he has such wonderful posters. He can come and help you, decorate your school. But he doesn't even have to come and decorate your school. He can then still give you the same expressions for you to take and go and decorate your school. And now he's telling you how to use technology, from YouTube to Google Classroom to all those additional things. He's learning to master. And I think, honestly, we need to say that saying, fully. If you have only one skill, it is a problem. Go and see the complementary things that are in that your one skill.
And I know, and I really like the application.
Unpack it.
Yeah. But then another safe side to it is to also get people to understand that when we look at something, just like that that powerful quote that we all normally use, but we don't use it till the end, because the meaning just changes, when you read it all through, as opposed to stopping at master of none, right? I believe that there are primary application to things, there are secondary applications, there's tertiary application to things. So looking at that statement, well, people might say, oh, now you're telling us to go out there to learn so many things. And then people now take up that and then begin to misapply, because it also connotes certain things. That even if your own type of job is only sustained and left with one mastery of a trade. I mean, you understand? The moment you're master of one, just like Titi said about streams of income,
move on.
The fact is this: that mastery must find several routes to expression, which still makes you now because sometimes, which was the debate that took place when we were on lockdown, and then several people came online and started talking about how people to get into survival mode. And a lot of people had issues with, why would you encourage teachers to begin to do businesses outside of the sector? Why would teachers sell pomo? Why would teachers sell ogi? Why would teachers sell akara? Why would teachers do all those things? Because once you do that, it's difficult for them to come back. We already have teacher shortage. But once teachers begin to leave the sector, they might not come back to set. So many debates around that. Now, the truth of the matter is this: a lot of times we are used to hopping around and jumping around. We're not used to going to a point where we explore and give ourselves several routes of expression, not necessarily hopping and changing, but exploring the depths of the identity or the talent or the trade that we have. And this is really something that I want everyone to understand, that you must understand that what we meant of by saying jack of all trade, meaning is Jack had expression, right? That was not limited to one kind of route to market, right? But then, even though he did not master all, he didn't come out with a master's degree, he didn't come out with a PhD degree, he didn't come out with the name on the social media page that says the best so in Africa, in Nigeria. But guess what? Jack's mastery gave him competence and competitive leverage that is achieving his dream than the one who is just master of one. Focus has never been bad. It will never be bad. But you know what? You can be so focused that you fail, because focus itself is blindness. So if you practice focus to the point that it becomes illegitimate, you are not flexible, but you are focused.
Tunnel vision.
You are focused, but you are fixed. The time to shift and the time to turn, you wouldn't even know when the post is shifted. It's like a goalkeeper trying to catch a ball in the midfield. Of course, that's a foul. The goalkeeper is not at the post. So sometimes a lot of us, we don't realize that the post has shifted. We are guarding the wrong post. And so we must begin to look at it. Titi's question is a question we must answer, not just because of the show, but I think we must answer it over and over again. She said, is there anyone who has not learned a skill? And I like the way she said, you know, she didn't say there's nobody that did. She just asked, meaning that appeal to your mind and be a bit reflective. Did you learn anything? And if yes, of course you did not, then it means that probably you are not either as conscious as you should be, because trust me, even news, even police brutality, you learned something. Things were being thrown at us. The attention span extended. A lot of people were more online during this period. You understand? So yes. Whether it was passive learning or active learning, I think
learning was happening.
I think a huge percentage of us learned something this year. And most of us learned something new this year. It might have not been maybe learning by choice, but by default, things were thrown at us. You understand? I learned a lot of things in terms of social development this year. You know, and some of the things I knew before now, I kind of deepened my knowledge on it, because just the things happening in the world, you know, it was as if at some point that the world was doing some kind of reset. I don't know whether you felt that way. You know, the pandemic first kept everybody quiet and indoors, and then nature was healing itself. Then we now had social crisis in different countries, not just Nigeria. Africa had its share, Europe had its share, Asia had its share. You know, it's really been a great year, if I must say. But the honest truth is, we need to spread our wings. So what are the steps that we can take? Practical steps to spreading these wings. And what do these wings connote? So I'm going back to KK and I'll come back to Titi.
The question Titi asks kind of forms a foundation for knowing for the steps, really. Can you say you haven't learned anything? Like you said, Rotimi, it starts from a place of reflection. So look deep within you and think about it in a purposeful manner, not just thinking about countable skills, but even those skills that are not countable. What have you learned this year? You need to do an audit of yourself, you know, do an audit, even if it starts from you saying, what are the things I was listening to this year? You know, what new connections did I make this year? So it's the first thing really is being reflective and saying, based on what I do, what else do I now know concerning this? So that's the first thing that I would do, because you need to walk from the known to the unknown. If you do not walk from the known to the unknown, then you would lose out on some things along the way. So first of all, look at yourself and say, if I need to spread my wings, what are the fears that I have about my job, about my role, about my current skill set, about the frontiers really of my ability? So if you look at the frontiers of your ability and you have asked yourself those questions, and you say, if I needed to spread my wings, what will I disrupt? And then you might think about the fact that, oh, I might disrupt somebody else's schedule, I might not be able to sleep, I might be afraid that I'll be doing too much. So what is the too much you feel you're going to be doing? So again, it's a step-by-step thing that actually takes you through the level you currently are to the level you maybe you don't even know you want to be there, but it actually takes you to another level. So that's how I would say. But first of all, you need to be reflective and do an audit of your skills, do an audit of what you wanted to do and write it down. When you've written it down, you might actually find that you have developed the skills, or you know now what you need to do to then get that going. And it's not there will always be the worry. I mean, we talked about fear in one of the last episodes, right? And I think it was last week or earlier this week. And so go back and watch that episode. So even when you hit that block of fear and worry, you will then know what to do to stop, just to cross that line. But you never stop. You actually need to keep going, yeah, with that audit. All right, back to you, Rotimi.
Back to Titi, your cousin. To
Yes,
Titi.
okay, Titi.
So I would say to the person out there, if there's anything that you've learned in this 2020, number one is that you have a skill, right? I think KK is the noise coming from KK?
Yes, I'm sorry. Sorry.
Okay, if there's anything that we've learned, is this, that in this 2020, all of us have something. You might not have it to the level of Rotimi, but you have it to the level where the people around you can leverage from it. So I'm a teacher. I'm teaching science. I'm good in science. But you know what? There are a number of people that are not. What stops me from extending my teaching from the students to the science teachers? So maybe in my school, I can start, putting together something to teach the other science teachers, because I'm good at it. Kiki, can you do mute for us a bit? Okay, so I'm good at it, which means that I can teach other people. So you know what? Let me get together a few people and teach them, how I make my science class engaging and all that kind of stuff. And once I'm comfortable with it, you know what? Maybe I should ask the other schools in the neighborhood to, if they're interested in their science teachers learning, and maybe charge a small fee. This is an area that I haven't explored before. It's still in my science, but you know what? I'm adding how to, beyond teaching students, teach the teacher. So it's a train the trainer kind of thing. So you know what? So I start to do that, right? And then in doing that, I found out, oh wow, I can put together a workbook. I can put together a workbook for the train the teachers and all that, and put it together, a collection of, because I noticed in teaching them that a lot of them, some of their challenges is that they don't have a collection of exercises and all that to do the teachers. Oh, no problem. I put together a collection for the term, and say, if you want the collection, I charge 1,000 naira. So I send it to you as PDF. So that means I'm also going to learn how to do things, put things together. Before, I wasn't doing that. Before, it was someone else in my school that used to do all that. But you know what? I've taken it. I'm going beyond my skill, learning new skills of putting workbooks together. Learning how to that is some of the things that I'm talking about, of adding. So you can see the things that I'm doing are complementary. There are still those my skills that I'm exploring. Then I now realize that, you know, this is for manual, you know. There are other things that maybe from a technology aspect, let me go and learn these things. So that it can mean that instead of me doing physical class and training, I can then do webinar and, you know, so I'm going to learn how to use Zoom well. I'm going to learn how to create some things on Canvas to give my workbook the paparazzi level. You know, the other one I first thought was just to gather it. Now I want to give it the paparazzi level. And who knows? I can do the level enough that I can go and put it on Teachers Pay Teachers, you know, which is a new level, but I need to learn technology. So if you're an educator and you're listening to me, you have to say, how do I spread my wings? And that's the example I'm giving. You need to be asking yourself, as I enter 2021, how do I spread my wings beyond where I am, beyond what I'm doing now? What skills will help me do it? What timelines do I need to give myself so that I don't give up? To say, okay, you know what, by January, start this. February, do the first set of March, do this, you know. And that's what we talked about yesterday when we talked about goals. Make your goals smart, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. So as I'm doing that, I'm spreading my wings. And who knows, the next thing I can do it for the whole state. I can do it, and that is what we are talking about. You need to identify, take I like what KK said, take an inventory of your skill set, a bit of what you would need, and then just start. You know, start something. Start, you know, they say start crappy. Start, but just start, start anyhow. I don't know how many people listened on the show when I talked about the fact that when I was teaching people how to use the computer when I was university, I did not myself. You know, someone had just dropped the computer and a book. What I did was every night I would jack the book. In the morning, I will train the course. At night, I will jack. When people ask me questions I don't know, I'll find a way out of it. At night, again, I'll do that. So, but you know what? As I'm doing that, I'm gaining the skills. They said the best way to know that if you've mastered a skill is if you're able to teach it.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, the moment you think that you know something and you can teach it to another person and the person understands, then, you know, and you don't have to have, first of all, fully mastered before you teach. Sometimes you can teach along the way. Look at, I don't know how many of you look at public speaking. If you follow the life of, you know, there's some, let me use our pastors. There's some pastors you have, when you first started listening to them, they were making you fall asleep. 2-3 years later, when you listen to them again, you can't believe it's the same pastor that was making you fall asleep. He has mastered the art of engaging the audience. I don't want to say preaching because preaching is different. He has mastered the art of engaging the audience. What's one of his lessons that is more engaging? That's what I'm saying. And he learned it kind of, so to speak, on the job. You learned it on the job. So I'm saying that don't be afraid that you've not mastered it now. Doesn't mean anything. You know, make plans on how to master, make plans to spread your wings as you go into 2021. Back to you, Rotimi.
Wow. It is such an explosive session today, listening to KK, listening to TT, even reading the comments. Some of the audience that we have online, they're sending in their comments. And, you know, this brings me to the story I normally share sometimes of a documentary I stumbled on. It's a documentary of an eagle with cataracts in the eyes. And of course, we all know that eagles are known for sharp sight. But there's this particular eagle that had the cataracts in the eye. So it affected the eagle's movement. So the eagle could not fly, was moving carefully. So what happens is sometimes they drop fish around the eagle, and it would take a lot, you know, for the eagle to grope around to locate that fish that was dropped for it. But then there was an operation that was done for the eagle. The cataract in the eyes of the eagle was removed. And when the eagle was brought out, after some moment and all that. Eagle was still, not sure. But there was something I noticed towards the end of that documentary. They were pushing the eagle like with some like a rod, just to push it, So each time they push the eagle, in moving, like feeling discomfort, the wing will come out a bit. The wing will come out a bit. Now, this chicken was, this eagle was looking like a turkey, normal turkey, right? But there was a time they just poked the eagle at the back, and then the wings just stretched. And all of a sudden, it's like you realize that, wait a minute, I've got something behind me, or I've got something at my back. And then he took 2 more steps, stretched it again, and next thing, boom, the eagle flew. And this is just a mini illustration to many of us out there that you see the purpose of the wings, right, is for us to fly. Now, we have our path and our pursuit set before us. It could be our job, it could be our profession, it could be our projects, it could be people around us, it could be anything, it could be our purpose in life. But you see, the wings are not wings until they are spread and then they are flying. And that's what it means. The wings belong to the air. Once it's not in the air, guess what? It's just mere feathers. Years. We've been educators for 10 years. We've been school leaders for 20 years. We've been business leaders for 16 years. All those amount of energy, all those amount of expertise locked up inside our feathers. I think it's time for us to understand that until those feathers stretch and become wings, no flight is taking place. And so we must begin to look at the calendar ahead of us, look at the time that we've got, and use it as more or less a motivation to say in 2021 or this December, as we step into December, I'm going to use my wings. And how do you use your wings? There must be a stretching. And how does this stretching take place? We all must get to a point of discovery, and congratulations if you're already at the point of discovery. You must move over from discovery to exploration. I share this with people I mentor, people that I coach. I share this with people everywhere. Growth is found at the place of exploration, not just at the place of discovery. Discovery is just the first rung of discovery, when they can be called great sages of what? Of exploration. Mastery is sweeter, right? Profession is better. Professionalism is greater. Business is awesome and better at the place of exploration as opposed to the place of discovery. And this is where we really need to tell people that once you spread your wings, begin to get more skills, because it's the skill that puts you in the how, in the know-how. It's what puts you in the place of the doing, so that you can ultimately have what you so desire. So many things to say. Let's have TT read comments, and then probably we'll have our parting shots as we shut down the show today. So TT, over to you. Comment, please.
Yes, I like all the comments that we're having. Adura Moms Afolabi, the wings belong to the air. If they're not in the air for flight, they're just feathers. Very profound. Ooh, yes. Rotimi has those very profound budgets. Olatunde Adebayo is saying clear goals must always be set, and ways to achieve those goals must always be effective. I like the fact that he added that to achieve, because in the end, that's the cocoa execution. Thank you, Olatunde. Execution is the cocoa. Rotimi Ayitayo is saying you need to ask yourself how you will spread your wings beyond your current domain. I completely agree. Yes, KK said that we need to carry out an audit of our skills. I think 2020 helped us even do that automatically. But if you did fully do that, you still need to, you still need to do. When it comes to spreading your wings, KK is saying that steps to spreading your wings begins with 1, reflection. 2, walk from the known. You can never, don't just go and jump into the unknown. No, that's why I gave the example. You're a science teacher, start from your known. Then you see that you start exploring the unknown. I like that. And the third thing she said is projections must be made. So by this time and all that. Hey, if you follow do, thank you for joining up. You're now one of our tribesmen. He said your company to a large extent is your knowledge bank. Yes, that is the new wealth. This full quote feels like I just stumbled on an exclusive wisdom. Honestly, I feel I'm going to go and quote it now for the next 1 week. People will not hear what yes.
Titi, you're so dramatic, honestly.
It says that multiple types of income also flows in the direction of diversity of skills. That is true. And sometimes diversity is just lead to diversity. See people that were doing like they were doing Okada. When lockdown happened, they moved into delivery. So it's still a bit of that. Yeah, but just sometimes just a little tweak, a little pivot. It doesn't have to be major and drastic. Yes, thank you very much, Bolaji Oyeka. Bolaji is saying that I learned a lot this year, both educationally and as an entrepreneur. And still 2020 gave us a lot of time to learn. That was really one of the major blessings of 2020. It gave us a lot of time to learn. Thank you very much. If you don't have new skills, you don't have an edge. That is so true. I'm saying it again. If you don't have new skills, you don't have an edge. You need to have an edge. That's what we've learned to. You need to have an edge. Thank you very much. This is the quote again. A jack of all trades is master of none, but sometimes better than a master of one. I like to say, wow.
So, what I would say that KK, you've been used as a prophetess today. That sometimes you are the mouthpiece, from heaven today, and you've been able to open our eyes to the completeness of the quote, jack of all trades. Sometimes people just say those things and they don't remember there's a comma instead of a full stop.
Full stop. Absolutely.
Yeah. So very, very true. We really want to bring the show to a close today. So I'd like to ask you to just give your parting shots. KK, I'm coming back to Titi to have a parting shots, and then we'll see next week. Yes.
There's something, Rotimi, you said that Jack had expression, and it wasn't limited to only one area. So he was trading, and he had expression in that trade, which probably is why they said he wasn't a master of one, but he was a master of all. So he had that expression. He had something he was already doing. Honestly, that's your first step. You need to do something. Spreading your wings. Spread, it's a verb. It is an action. You're going to have to want to spread your wings. You're going to have to be ready to pay the price so that you can get your prize. You must actually be ready. And that's where that projection comes in. You must be ready to say, you know what? I aspire, not just to perspire, but I aspire to be more. I knew I'll get you to laugh, Rotimi. I knew I'll get you to laugh. So you must say to yourself, I want more. Now, if you don't want more, you're never going to want to go and get more. So the action of spreading your wings means breaking out of that comfort zone. Great things will not come from your comfort zone. And if you actually want to move out of that comfort zone, then you need to begin to do stuff. You need to begin to act. Honestly, even just going to sit down at the feet of a mentor is doing something, because that is how you're going to get more skills. All right. So again, be ready, be willing to do something, be willing to see that what you're doing, there's much more. Work from your known, okay, and then just be ready to pay the price and keep going. You really can do so much more, so much more. Thank you. Over to you, Roti.
Parting shots.
I think it's time to spread your wings and fly. To everyone listening, it is time, to spread your wings and fly. Don't wait for another time. It's time. Time to spread your wings and fly. That's all I have to say.
I don't know if you know, there's the song by E17. E17. Spread your wings and fly.
I know the song.
That was the song that I was doing in 1996. I think, was it 96 or 94? I can't remember. Anyway, two things as we bring the show to a close. Number one, I like to say that our house is full. Our house of experts is full.
So can you mute it so that we can hear Rotimi?
Our house is full. Our house of experts is full. Our house of professionals are full. Our house of leaders are full. But the field is empty, right? As we go into 2021, I think we need to get decongested in the house. A lot of us are staying safe and playing safe. Apart from staying safe in terms of safety of the pandemic, I'm talking about the way we treat our expertise, the way we treat our calling, the way we treat our profession, the way we treat our skills, products, and pursuits and platforms. It's time for us to get to the field. The field is empty, and there's already harvest staring us in the face. So we need to spread our wings, get more skills, leave the house, move out to the trenches, feel the fields. And if you're able to do that, you'll find out that so much more will happen to you, so much more will happen through you, and so much more will come to you. And then as we end the show, I'd like to remind you of the Growth Storming Retreat taking place in Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, and Calabar. You don't want to miss this. I was having a review session and a review meeting with the team planning the retreat. And I looked at it. I myself am registering to be a part of the retreat that I am hosting. It's going to be super amazing. Best of its kind, one of a kind. And guess what? You must not miss it. In Lagos is going to be 10th and 11th of December. I repeat, 10th to 11th of December. And it's going to be a fantastic experience. In Abuja, it's going to be 15th and 16th of December. So I'm going to be in Abuja, not virtually alone, but physically, right? And then, of course, for Port Harcourt, it's going to be 18th and 19th. Just as we leave Abuja, we're heading to Port Harcourt, and I will be in Port Harcourt. Port Harcourt people, wherever you are, listen to me, register and be a part of it. And then we'll end the journey of the Santa Claus ride on the 21st and 22nd in the city of Calabar, Cross River State. You have a chance now. Make a choice. Spread your wings. Fly there or walk there or crawl there, whatever you must do. Register and be a part of this. Trust me, I've never hosted a session like this before. It's going to be super amazing. All you need to do is to send this text to send growth, text growth, your name, your email, and your phone number to 080-94-644-634 or 080-3385-6800. You could also send me a message on social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and you can send me a message even on YouTube. I would respond to you, but please make sure that you register. There's a very limited space available. We're trying to keep it cozy and comfortable, and so we're trying to ensure that we do not stretch ourselves. But please, there's also provisions made for those who are connecting from out of Nigeria, whether you're in Africa, beyond Africa. We will always have a provision made for you to connect with us. But for those of you in the city and the location, trust me, in the place where it's happening, some things are caught. They are not things that are just caught. I'm taught, sorry. So we'll see you next week on the Good Morning Education Show. Mondays all through Fridays, fantastic show. We're going to be having guests every day next week. And these guests will be sharing from their world of experience and expertise and exposure to just ensure that we keep learning together, sharing together, and ultimately growing together. My name is Rotimi Itayo, and I'm your host. I'm so excited that we've had a great time today. Titi is also here, and of course, our fantastic experts are there as well. And we will end with our usual saying that remember, always
it's always
morning.
a good morning and a good morning education.
Show. We'll see you next week.
Bye. Bye, everyone.